bring my laser!
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Derek420 for real here, and I got a battle with GEN4RULER. He challenged me on YouTube and I was like, alright, what tier? He's like, I don't know tiers, and I'm like, alright, so you learn tiers and you come back and challenge me. So here he is back when he wanted to OU, right? So sorry for the lack of uploading, but I was working for like 3 days and I didn't have it. I wasn't even home honestly, so I didn't have any time. And I did notice that this Aerodactyl had Intimidate, so I was like, alright, whatever. I was like, I noticed it after a while and I'm like, okay. So I noticed that and I switch out and I'm fearing like that he's gonna go for the ice move because, you know, I don't know how well of a player this person is. I haven't ever seen him play. Like, he has a couple of videos and I didn't really watch him, but I go for the switching to King Drone as Aerodactyl, and I go for the Dragon Dance on this predicted switch. And now, after I'm Dragon Danced up, I outspeed this Gengar, and I'm gonna go for the Waterfall because it's stab, and I know it's gonna kill. So I knock out the Gengar, and I'm like, alright, that's good. He sends in L96A1, and I didn't notice that it doesn't have download or adaptability. So I'm like, what the hell? Alright, I'm gonna switch in my Dusknoir, and he goes for the Thunderbolt, and it does a lot, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is up with this thing? And I'm like, oh, I get the Parahacks, great. So, but it's all good. I like the clever name of it, L96A1. I guess he's a Call of Duty kind of guy, but whatever. So I just go for the Sucker Punch just to get some damage off on him because I realize my Dusknoir has just been screwed on the switching. He's not paralyzed, so he's useless. And I'm like, alright, whatever. And I'm with 12, and I'm like, okay, now I get off another Sucker Punch. That's great. So I get off another Sucker Punch, which is going to do a good amount of damage. And I know he's going to take damage because I'm going to come in and set up rocks in a bit. But he goes ahead and T-bolts my Dusknoir to knock it out. And I send in my Aerodactyl. And he's scared, so he withdraws. He goes into his own Aerodactyl. And here I'm like, dude, Intimidate is not an ability of Aerodactyl. I was like, but you know, whatever, okay. Learn to poke Saf. But so I'm just gonna go for the Stone Edge after I set up my rocks on the switch, and that's gonna be enough to KO that Aerodactyl, even after the Intimidate. And so now I'm like, okay, that was kind of weird. So let's see what other kind of weird stuff we'll see today. And he brings in Big Boy, Ars Gyarados, and I'm like, okay, now I'm dual intimidated, and this is not looking good for me. But I'm like, alright, I still got my Sash attack. Let's hit it with the Stone Edge because I know it's super effective. And I crit here, and I'm guessing that really seriously really mattered because with dual intimidation and I still knock it out. So in comes the Scissor, and I'm like, hey, look, he looks like diarrhea. And I'm all like, alright, Bullet Punch is coming. Let's see what kind of Scissor he is. And he goes for the Bullet Punch, which is obvious, and it's gonna bring me down to my Sash. And now I know like he doesn't have rock set up, so now I'm like, okay, I still got an Aerodactyl with 1 HP that I can switch in later, and maybe Revenge kill something because I know it's super fast. And I just go for the Earthquake, get off some damage, and I'm like, alright, let's switch out and let's go into Kingdra to resist the Bullet Punch because I know it's coming. And he does go for the Bullet Punch, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, I'll resist it now. And I'm just gonna go for the Waterfall because it's stabbed, and I know it'll probably KO that Scissor very easily. And so I do go for the Waterfall. Life Orb Waterfall will KO even without the Dragon Dance. And I take some Life Orb recoil, and he sends out George, and I'm predicting the close combat. So I'm gonna go into my Gengar, and he goes for the Stone Edge, which was kind of, I was like, okay, that's cool. But it does about half, I guess, a little more than half. And I'm gonna go for the Psychic to kill it off because I know I'm faster. And so down goes his Ape. I'm not sure what kind of Ape it is. I don't know what kind of Ape it is. I don't even know what that L96A1 is. It confused the hell out of me right here. And so I realize he's down to his last Pokemon, and I'm like, okay. I have a funny feeling Thunderbolt's coming. And let's go into my Machamp to eat up the Thunderbolt. And that was stupid. So when he asked me for OU, I was like, alright, I'm going to bring my OU horror team because I don't know what this kid's going to bring. I kind of figured he'd bring everything OU like I would bring it. And of course, he does have a lot of the same Pokemon. Well, he crits on the Thunderbolt and it KOs my Machamp in one hit. And I bring in my Gengar, I'm like, I'm faster. No. So here I'm like, alright, either this thing's scarfed or this is a fail Pokesav attempt. I don't know. And I didn't notice that I did notice that this thing had levitate, and I go for the earthquake to KO it, and it doesn't happen. And he thunderbolts me and KOs me with 1 HP, and so my Aerodactyl goes down, and I'm like, dude, Porygon Z does not get levitate. I'm like, but okay, that's cool. So now in comes my Breloom to resist the Thunderbolt, and I go for the superpower, and that's gonna KO. So you know what I mean? I guess it was a good game. I guess I taught him some stuff about illegal moves and stuff. So y'all comment, rate, subscribe, tell me what you thought about his noob errors or whatever. Y'all have a good day.